What's going on, everybody? LK here, back at it again with another video, and today some more Dragon Ball FighterZ for y'all. So today I'm going to talk about a long requested character, a pretty popular character, especially when the game came out. I want to take a look at Goku Black. If you like the content I'm putting out, consider liking this video or subscribing to the channel if you already have not. It does help the channel grow and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So Goku Black. So this character is a pretty interesting character to look at because for the most part there's this really big discrepancy between casual play and competitive play on how good this character actually is. It's very common to see in tier lists people rate him on the lower half of the characters generally. Some people go really ham and say that he's trash and rate him like bottom 5 or something. I tend to disagree, but then you'll also have either casual slash good but like non-competitive, non-tournament players saying, well, I do well with this character, I think he's good because I do well with this character. So you might remember this player 1 squad from season 1 if you've been following the game since day 1. This is Sonic Fox's first team basically, or one of their early teams. Goku Black, Hit, and Android 16, and we have Point Goku Black here. This character was super popular when the game came out. He's very mobile, he's got dive kicks, he's got God Slicer, he's got a teleport, he's got a beam, he's got a command grab, he's got a lot of stuff. But after the first couple months, he kind of fell off. So since season 1, people have mostly been saying he has no mix, as a wise man once said. He doesn't really have tricky offensive options despite him being really mobile. So again, I say this about a lot of characters, but he has to rely on the system mechanics mostly to hit you, that being Dragon Rush and 6M. So with the emphasis on mix on season 1 and the fact that there were way stronger, easier mix-ups before at that time than now, he kind of fell to the wayside. Beams in generally weren't looked at too favorably in season 1 as well. So we actually talked about this before, but this is about the it feels good when I play him, I do well with him kind of talk. It makes sense. He's very mobile. So he's able to go from the air to the ground very easily. We all know this is pretty important in the game. He has the command grab, he has God Size, all these tools I talked about before. Good normals, great auto combo, the 2H of the gods, all these memes and stuff. He has a pretty good moveset all around. So he feels good to play, like he's fluid. If you don't like understand what's important in the game, you might think, man, this stuff is all like really good, I do well, I'm bodying people with. But he actually has two major problems. One is the character's problem and one is the game's problem. So let's break this down a little bit. So one, despite being so mobile, a lot of his moves are very committal, and what I mean is that when you do them, you're kind of just forced to do them and you can't do anything else for a little while. So God Slicer is a pretty good example of this. So let's say I'm trying to like ID back, it'll catch me, or it'll catch me jumping, but this move has a couple of flaws, right? Like if you super dash early enough, you can just hit him out of it. If you do it from under and you see him do it, he will hit you. But if you do it from above him or get behind him, then you could take your turn. Depending on how close you are, you either get a hit or you have an opportunity to take offense. His dive kick is kind of similar. So if you block this move, it jails into vanish, so he gets to B plus and take his turn, which is quite good. But again, if this move whiffs, then you get a punish, and he can't do anything while he's doing the dive kick and traveling in that lane. His Ki Blast has a similar issue too. So he fires it, it's one big Ki Blast, covers the ground, slow traveling too, so he can run behind it and run at you, and if you super dash at him, he can see it, but it's only one hit. So if you have a multi-hit Ki Blast, you can just fire it. He can super dash at you, but at the same time, as long as you fire like 1 or 2, you should be okay and be able to hit him. So this is a pretty common theme with his moves. Like, they're good if you let them rock, but they all have flaws in that once he does them, he is doing them, and if you know how to stop it, then he can't really do anything about it. That first thing is him. So his moves are like that, like that's his problem. The second issue is kind of the thing with the game and how we think about the game. So because for the previous 2 seasons he was a beam assist, there weren't a lot of options for beams really. You had SJ Goku and Goku Black basically, and then later GT Goku, you also have like Cell, and then you have like your beam likes. So because of the common theory that your support, your neutral support, should be your last character, when people played Goku Black, they played him as an anchor. Ideally, if you're winning with a team like this this team over here, this Bardock GT Goku Black, which is just like a slight change from Bardock GT SJ Goku. If you're playing a perfect game, Goku Black should not have to play. You just destroy them with Bardock, you bring in GT does his thing with the Bardock and Goku Black support, and you're all good. But if your team is getting washed and you have to bring in good old Goku Black, then you have to deal with his issues. So with that in mind, if you're only looking at him from that perspective, and it makes sense in season 1 and 2 to think of it like that, because again, every character only has one assist, so their roles are extremely defined. It makes sense. But in season 3, there's been kind of more of a push to play him on point. So think about this, for instance, right? A lot of people say his main issue is that he's really committal on a lot of his moves, so it's hard to play him alone, and he can't open you up by himself. This is certainly true. Yeah, he's got this command grab, this thing is slow as shit, let's be real. Now the thing is though, we all agree that like base Vegeta has good neutral or Bardock has good neutral, but they kind of have the same ideas as Goku Black here. Like for example, Bardock has this up punch. It's basically like a dive kick going up, right? And if he doesn't have an assist, then he's just out here, his fist is just in the air, and he's just kind of floating in space. So the reason why we think this is strong, besides it being an anti-air, is that you can combine it with an assist and get your turn into whatever. So more recently, people are thinking about playing Goku Black as a point or a mid instead of an anchor. It's weird because the game kind of advertises him as an anchor because he has the best type of assist, right, as his default assist, the beam assist. But when you think about it from this perspective, it kind of makes sense. For example, look at how much screen control he has if you combine him plus GT Goku assist when they're jumping, right? That's a pretty simple example. Or yeah, you overshot your dive kick, but you have Bardock to back you up. So a lot of characters have this type of neutral already that we consider points. Base Vegeta is another one. So for example, this move is -9, very punishable. You do this, call 16, now you can't be punished. So in a way, even though we understand a lot about Goku Black, there's still unexplored things about him. And if you're playing him point or mid, that means he will have the opportunity to mix you up. So he actually has this. This is his teleport, an EX teleport. There's actually a technique in this game where you can put super jumps into airborne special moves. It's a Guilty Gear technique. It's called super jump installing. So the simple way of explaining it is that you put a super jump in your special move input. So in this case, I have his teleport here. You notice I have air options, of course, but I can't really like do stuff. But if I input a super jump, then I can kind of float and drift like this. So here I have a pretty basic mix. This is not the actual clip I saw, but I just kind of messed around and found this example of using it in a string. So of course, if he had no assist, I would not get away with this. I could probably match this because, you know, I didn't make it super tight, but it's just to show you that he can use this drift as an option because he has an assist. So it just goes to show that he's still a little bit underexplored, especially in a season like this where there are more flexible assist options. Now you don't have to have him in that last slot. You can try to play him point, or you can try to play him mid and see what you can do. So at least personally, despite me thinking that there are still better options to play than him, I do kind of think he is underrated, especially when a lot of people in the community call him like trash or garbage or something like that. Reminder that you guys don't know what a bad character is if you've only played Dragon Ball FighterZ. Alright, hopefully that made sense. I've been thinking about this character a little bit more this season, especially with once in a while there's a comment about Goku Black and how he should be a point or mid. I thought about it, I'm like, that kind of makes sense. He actually has that in common with Trunks, where the game's like, oh, this character's an anchor, but he actually plays better in another slot. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.